welcome to ACORD Industry News. I'm John L. Johnson. Today we are talking about a sharing economy, and I'm sure you might want to know exactly what is a sharing economy. Well, joining me now to answer that and plenty more is Ashley Hunter. She is the president of HM Risk Group. How are you, Ashley?
I'm good. How are you, Janelle?
I am doing very well. So I said in the intro that we wanted to know exactly what is a sharing economy, and you are the right person to answer that for us. So what is a sharing economy?
A sharing economy is basically when you have people that are willing to share items that they own, so their houses or their cars or effectively anything that you own that you're willing to stick up on a marketplace, on the website someplace, and offer it to an individual who is willing to pay for that item that you own. So if I want to go to New York and I don't want to stay in a hotel, but I'd rather stay someplace that looks more like a home, then I could get on a site called Airbnb, and then I can find some place that is in the area that's most convenient for me, and that will look like a home.
Right, so Airbnb, Uber, there are plenty of things that people are sharing every day, but how does that relate to the insurance industry?
Well, actually, right now it relates very heavily, and it's weighing very heavily on the insurance industry, because as this economy starts to grow and gets, longer legs, we're trying to figure out how we underwrite these businesses. And is it a technology company? And what are the liability exposures with them? What are the cyber exposures that go along with these companies? So as an insurance underwriter, I'm basically spending the majority of my time trying to figure out how exactly am I going to underwrite and find coverage that is applicable for these new and emerging businesses.
So a sharing economy is changing the way we stay in a hotel room or hail a cab, and instead we use Uber. But how is it changing what we do in insurance and how we underwrite and do things like that?
Well, it's changing the way we even look at businesses. It's changing the way that we ask questions about what the business is doing. It's changing, where is the business? Just because the business is domiciled in the United States doesn't necessarily mean that it's only going to hit people in the United States. It's going to hit people on a more global level, which means that our ability to underwrite a global business is more important than it has been in the past, because we've always just been very cognizant of your brick and mortar businesses. But this is kind of this different space where it's a business located in Jersey but doing business in China. And it's all done on the web. And now that we have, people are more concerned about breaches and privacy issues, it is becoming more of these, it's just the issues are becoming greater and more complex. And we're having to look at it very differently than we would have looked at a cyber exposure, let's say 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Because these are basically small mom and pop businesses, and they're operating out of their garages, but they're doing business in India. And so we can't just say just because the business looks small and because it's operating out of a garage that it doesn't have global implications in the event that there was a loss that we're covering.
So what is the future of a sharing economy, and how will it continue to impact underwriting in the insurance industry?
I think as the sharing economy grows, as the insurance company, because we've been very slow to try to figure out how we're going to be able to respond to these losses and to these new businesses. And I think as it grows, it's basically going to make us more cutting edge and more innovative in how we underwrite businesses. Because in the past, we've been more of a reactive as opposed to a proactive kind of industry. And these businesses are forcing us to be more innovative and forcing us to be more proactive in the way that we underwrite the businesses. And it also is going to mean that it's going to require us to hire younger people to come into the industry because they're using these products. So it's going to mean that basically our industry is going to become more innovative because we're going to be forced to be more innovative.
Right. So what's the one thing people should remember as we wind down this interview?
That basically the business is changing and it's fun. My job is interesting. The businesses that I'm looking at today are businesses that did not exist 6 months ago, and they will probably be some household business that we will hear about a year from now. And that it's interesting, and don't be scared of the privacy or the fact that it's new or interesting or that you've never heard of it before. You should just at least give it a try. And insurance, we are covering losses. So don't be concerned.
That's right. Try new things and embrace it, even in the insurance industry. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for taking a few minutes to talk to us. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching.